lots of women are calling bullshit on Blake Lively. Like, that's just what you see. And look, if you're Blake Lively and you get a text message of this guy Jed saying, "We are crushing it on Reddit," then yeah, I can understand that paranoia, but that's not enough to win a lawsuit, right? They're gonna have to provide that proof.
How about your post should be, "I'm sorry. I believed Blake like everyone else when the civil complaint was filed in California." And then 2 days later, the New York Times writes this article. "Read this New York Times thing I told everyone. It's horrible. It's terrible." Why doesn't anyone just say, "I made a mistake"? I think we live in a world, we're out of cancel culture now. I think. But we live in a world where if you say you're sorry, I just believe that people forgive you and you'll be okay.
Justin Baldoni's attorney, power attorney Brian Friedman, is saying Blake is abusing the legal system, slams her motion to dismiss the suit. They're firing back at her attempt to cut herself out of the ongoing legal drama surrounding the film It Ends With Us. Brian Friedman, power attorney, tells TMZ Miss Lively's recent motion to dismiss herself from the self-concocted disaster she initiated is one of the most abhorrent examples of abusing our legal systems. Friedman says stringent rules are put into place to protect the innocent and allow individuals to rightfully defend themselves, while noting laws are not meant to be twisted and curated by privileged elites to fit their own personal agenda. TMZ broke the story that Blake filed her motion to dismiss, saying Baldoni violated the law by filing his own lawsuit in the purpose of revenge. Blake says Baldoni filed his defamation suit against her husband, and everyone else after she filed his. And of course, when she filed her lawsuit onto him, obviously he's going to take a hit from that career-wise. So his response is like, "You're defaming me by doing that." And she's saying, "Well, you can't even respond."
Blake Lively's world just crumbled after her own lawyer quit and leaked explosive documents that prove her entire lawsuit was a staged PR stunt.
He is not an honest person with himself, and so he's just become a very vicious person who's lashing out in a variety of ways. It's called like an Enneagram personality type 1 through 9. Well, Ryan Reynolds on the Enneagram is a psycho. That's what he is. He's just a psycho. His number is psycho. This now confirms our suspicion that all of those very cringe nice pool scenes in which he was randomly referring to his female dog, Ryan in character being a funny guy. So he had the female dog, which he called Dog Pool. So Reed, this was meant to be a bitch, right? A literal bitch.
You let this little flirt out of your sight for 1 second and she starts shopping for a new papa.
If he wants to go after you, he infests himself into every area of your life. Who owns the production company? Who owns the next movie script? I am going to infest myself everywhere. I'm going to be doing your movie premiere. I'm going to be doing promos and making fun of you, right? I'm going to put myself in the end credits. Like, this is like psychotic behavior, okay?
The man tasked with defending her couldn't stomach the lies anymore and handed over 64 internal emails and 17 draft filings directly to Justin Baldoni's team. These weren't legal documents. They were scripts for a publicity campaign disguised as justice.
And they were denying that Ryan Reynolds had anything to do with it. Those were PR teams that were working overtime behind the scenes, likely their PR team. Leslie Sloan, "It's not true. No, it's never." That is a fact. He's a very scary, creepy guy. We found the creep. It's Ryan Reynolds. This has been a terrible thing. And even though it is our fault, we have been awful to you. We've been threatening this movie every step of the way to get what Blake Lively wants and really what Ryan wants more than anything else. You came at them with a figurative head. And you put his family in the basement. I'm sorry the public noticed. The reality is these Hollywood types, they think we are all stupid. We are so dumb. All they need is a PR machine and the right reporter at the Hollywood Reporter and the right reporter at the Daily Mail and Page 6, whatever it is, and they'll tell us what to think. Sony informs Wayfarer, the studio financing the premiere and most of the film, that Lively had demanded that Baldoni, Heath, and Wayfarer refrain from attending the New York premiere and threatened a cast-wide boycott if they do. The public, you're noticing some things, but you're wrong, public. Basically, the command was gaslight the public while behind the scenes, we act awful. That was the command. That was the instruction.
What started as Blake's attempt to destroy Baldoni has backfired so spectacular that even her closest allies are running for cover. The leaked files reveal a calculated smear operation where court filings were treated like social media posts, designed to trend rather than tell the truth. Daniel Keene, Blake's former attorney, didn't just resign quietly. He detonated her entire defense by exposing how she turned federal court into a BuzzFeed listicle competition.
Ryan and Blake both now realize if their careers are to survive, they cannot be involved in the same projects because everything will be heavily scrutinized. Now, I would argue even their solo projects are going to be scrutinized. You guys clearly aren't backing down. You're frustrated with them, and I hear why. I am too. If they really played the power moves that they did and lied, shame on them, of course. But I don't fault him for not showing up because I agree with this reasoning. It would have been even more intense, more scrutinized. And I think they do need to do their separate appearances. Blake is unsure about the future of her career because of the backlash she has received. She does not want to have a family with no income, and she knows that Ryan's career has so far survived the fallout. I do think Blake will have a tougher time getting gigs, not because of a retaliation campaign, but because of her demanding authorship. Go make your own movies, Blake. Go make your own movie. You have the funds, the support, apparently. You have Hollywood friends who have your back, right? Ari Emanuel. Go make your own movie. Go put it out there yourself and make a hit.
Private text messages and other documents that we've obtained reveal what really happened.
Internal emails show Blake demanding that legal motions include viral phrases and trending hashtags. She literally wanted court documents to go viral on TikTok. One filing actually opened with the line, "I am the Jane Doe of modern Hollywood," like she was writing a teen magazine essay, not addressing federal judges.
I just thought we'd done everything, and I swear to God, we hadn't done Logan yet, but I said, Logan's going to be my last. I knew what the script I was excited about. I thought this is going to be perfect.
I occasionally work with a group called Pacific Wild and a guy named Ian McAllister who runs Pacific Wild, and I just love everything they do up there. So my hope is to go up there and get a distant look at a spirit bear.
No, I mean, I always thought I'd end up as in law enforcement, like my family. So I didn't imagine that acting was a way to get out of the house. It wasn't really like a passion when I was a kid. It was something that I was already doing at home.
Keen's leaked communications reveal Blake ordering rewrites to add more dramatic flair, treating legal arguments like Instagram captions that needed to grab attention and spark engagement across social platforms. The scandal gets worse when you discover that Leslie Sloan, Blake's publicist, was caught red-handed editing actual court documents. This woman, who probably spends her days planning red carpet looks, was finalizing federal filings that would be submitted under oath. She was adding buzzwords and emotional triggers to legal briefs like she was managing a lifestyle brand crisis, not defending serious allegations. Sloan transformed legitimate legal arguments into social media content, sprinkling in hashtag-worthy phrases designed to tug heartstrings and generate clicks.
I mean, look, most of the time when the movie is this much fun to make, you up bad.
About a month ago, this really hit home with me too. About a month ago, I was sitting in traffic and I was just like jamming These Dreams by heart. Oh. I was killing it in the car. And there was just this busload of high school kids that were parked right beside me. I didn't even realize. I looked over and every one of their jaws were just on the ground, laughing their friggin' guts out at me.
And I'm really excited. But as I've gotten a little bit older, I sort of want to. Really, I'm lucky that I get to work in this industry, and particularly incredibly fortunate that I get to work in it this long. But I really want to work with people that are either immensely talented or people that I love and that I'm genuinely like best friends with. And unfortunately, Hugh does not qualify as either of those. But
the court system became Blake's personal content creation platform, with a publicist ghostwriting legal documents that were supposed to represent truth and evidence in a federal case. Taylor Swift's silence speaks volumes about how radioactive Blake has become in Hollywood circles. After getting hit with a fake subpoena designed to extract personal information, Taylor completely ghosted her former friend. No supportive statements, no social media posts, just complete radio silence. When Taylor Swift won't even give you a passive-aggressive tweet of support, you know your reputation is in free fall.
Robert Downey Jr., after a 5-year break, is returning to Marvel, but before he did that, he actually turned down Ryan Reynolds.
You don't see his face. Ryan Reynolds, is he one of those? And you want to know something? He's not so funny in real life.
Really?
No, he's not so funny. He's very serious. No, Taylor, then I would do Snoop, and then I would take Ryan off it. And I would put in somebody else.
I'm so surprised that Ryan Reynolds isn't funny. This is like a shocker to me.
Private text messages and other documents that we've obtained reveal what really happened.
And it serves Macron right. Hiring American PR firms to go after Americans and hiring lawyers to go after Americans, it just does not work, my friend. In the end, the truth will win. Like a mystery, we didn't know why Ryan was doing and saying the things that he was doing to such a nice person. And why are all of these buried issues that he has culminating into what can only be described as a figurative drive-by shooting of Justin Baldoni?
And here's one supposedly from Ryan Reynolds. And what's that last line? What's that last line? Oh, he's gay.
Industry insiders reveal that Taylor wants nothing to do with this disaster and is quietly distancing herself from Blake's toxic brand. The woman who built her career on loyalty and friendship codes couldn't run fast enough from Blake's manipulative legal theater and manufactured victim narrative. Blake's remaining legal team started abandoning ship when they realized they were being asked to submit fabricated evidence to federal court. Multiple attorneys discovered that text messages from 2018 had been completely altered and doctored with metadata showing deliberate manipulation and fabrication. Blake wanted her lawyers to file these fake conversations under oath, which would have resulted in immediate disbarment and potential criminal charges. Even loyal legal professionals have limits, and asking them to commit federal crimes crossed every ethical boundary. The mass exodus of legal representation wasn't about money or strategy disagreements. It was about self-preservation when faced with a client demanding they break the law.
You know, to survive. So
Right.
you kind of, I noticed when I was a kid, making people laugh was a great self-defense mechanism. It really helped me kind of navigate my way through my own home with my older brothers and my dad, and I could diffuse them by making them laugh.
My relationship with my father, which was very complicated and difficult. My dad was a very, I come from a middle class, kind of blue collar home, and my dad was just of that generation where it's just like, he was Clint Eastwood, less is more. Simple grunts is how he communicated.
Okay, gotcha.
I think people tell themselves stories, and this sort of comes back to your worldview that you just mentioned about.
I would say that they're more surprises because they have beginnings, middles, and ends. They're not like, it's not just like a, hey, there's the person and we move on. It's they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said it just earlier, but I wanted to go back on that. You think that this might be the greatest film that you've...
Ryan Reynolds made everything worse by suggesting that Deadpool quotes could somehow strengthen their legal arguments in federal court. He actually attended legal briefings via Zoom, muted but always watching, offering Hollywood-style advice for serious litigation. Internal transcripts show Ryan saying, "We don't need to win legally, we need to win the internet," which perfectly captures how disconnected from reality this couple had become. He pushed for celebrity testimonials from Hugh Jackman and other Marvel actors to be included as character evidence. Reynolds treated the federal lawsuit like a movie promotional campaign, completely missing that judges care about facts and evidence, not superhero endorsements and viral marketing strategies. Court documents reveal Blake's team submitted filings that read like social media posts rather than legal arguments. Judges were presented with motions containing SNL references, BuzzFeed-style headlines, and actual memes instead of case law and precedent. Blake demanded that every filing include 3 celebrity names per cycle to maintain tabloid traction, treating the lawsuit like a press tour where famous connections mattered more than evidence.
Brian Friedman, power attorney, tells TMZ Miss Lively's recent motion to dismiss herself from the self-concocted disaster she initiated is one of the most abhorrent examples of abusing our legal systems. What happened was, and again, everyone's doing this. No one wants to be in this trial, of course. Blake Lively's publicist asked to be removed from lawsuit, defends actress against Justin Baldoni's claims. I'm going to get into what Justin Baldoni's lawyer had to say and what Blake's team is saying, because every day there's more to the drama, and I'm going to get into all of this happening next. So we have Blake Lively accusing Justin Baldoni of retaliating with his lawsuit on her, and then we have Justin Baldoni's lawyer saying Blake is abusing the system. To be quite honest, Everyone I meet's Team Blake. I mean, other than Taylor Lorenz. Everyone's Team Justin Baldoni. I got that wrong. Everyone's Team Justin Baldoni. The Wayfarer Party's vengeful and rambling lawsuit against Blake Lively is a profound abuse of the legal process that has no place in federal court. The law prohibits weaponizing defamation lawsuits like this one to retaliate against individuals who have filed legal claims or have publicly spoken out about harassment and retaliation. The right to seek legal redress and the right of the press to report on it are sacred principles that are protected by multiple privileges, including the litigation and fair report privileges, which are absolute. So their argument is, you're not allowed to sue us back because we filed this harassment suit. I mean, it's like punching someone and then they don't get a chance to return the blow. So here's what Justin Baldoni's power attorney, Brian Friedman, is saying, right? Because she's arguing in her motion to dismiss, hey, I filed a harassment complaint against Baldoni. He cannot sue me in retaliation. If Justin Baldoni can prove that she filed that claim for some malicious intent, then maybe he'll have a shot at it. But some people are saying, hey, she could get off on some sort of technicality here.
She color-coded emotional buzzwords in legal briefs to maximize viral potential and Instagram engagement. Federal judges found themselves reading documents that belonged on entertainment blogs, not in serious courtrooms, dealing with allegations of professional misconduct and harassment claims. The brand collapse happened swiftly as major companies distanced themselves from Blake's increasingly toxic image. Luxury skincare brands, high-end fashion sponsors, and tech partnerships either froze campaigns or completely severed ties within hours of new revelations. One major skincare company put her ambassadorship under review immediately after court filings exposed more behind-the-scenes manipulation and PR stunts. Blake's carefully crafted public image as America's sweetheart evaporated when evidence surfaced, showing her calculating, manipulative behavior toward colleagues and the legal system.
But I am excited because I'm a Logan fan. So, and then, that covers Will Ferrell as well. That's a guy that my entire life, I feel. Well, that is also accurate and weirdly high praise as well. It was just one of those, it felt like a live action Pixar movie. It was something that, I wanted to do something where nobody was being stabbed in the face.
Yes.
There was almost no blood at all. I think I got a little paper cut on the movie. That was about it. And something that my kids can watch, but also as a parent, too, you want the parents need to get punched right in the heart as well.
Companies realized that associating with her brand meant aligning with deception, fabrication, and the weaponization of serious allegations for personal gain and publicity. Two prestigious law firms have officially rejected taking Blake's case, with one firm bluntly stating, "We are not a media management company." The legal community recognizes that representing Blake means participating in a publicity circus rather than legitimate litigation. Her remaining options are dwindling as word spreads about doctored evidence, fabricated claims, and the complete disregard for legal ethics and professional standards. Even crisis management specialists are avoiding this disaster because there's no spinning documented evidence of perjury, fabrication, and the systematic abuse of the court system. Blake has become legally radioactive, with her own behavior providing irrefutable evidence of malicious intent and calculated deception. Blake Lively now stands completely alone, surrounded by the wreckage of her own making. The woman who thought she could PR her way through federal court has lost her legal team, her celebrity friendships, her brand partnerships, and her public credibility. Daniel Keene's document leak provided a complete roadmap of every manipulated filing, fake quote, and strategic media drop that Blake orchestrated. She tried to turn serious allegations into viral content and treat the justice system like another red carpet to strut down. But federal judges aren't photographers snapping pictures. They're serious legal professionals who slam gavels when presented with fabricated evidence and publicity stunts disguised as legitimate claims.